if the conditions start to deteriorate on your drive, perhaps one little crash is all it takes to cause a jam and, of course, everything else to follow. We've been keeping an eye on intersections this morning. This is Kings Highway, and you can see the roads are covered there. Every now and again, you'll find a person kind of skidding through the intersection because they can't stop. So just be mindful. It may be you that's driving okay, but you have to keep an eye on other drivers on days like this as well. That defensive driving they teach you in driver's ed. There you can see the Doppler radar showing dry weather now. So it's the temperatures we're tracking now, temperatures in the teens, wind chills below zero. So you do need to bundle up if you do have to venture out today. High temperatures near 15 later on. We'll talk about the rest of the weekend forecast in a little bit. Let's go over to Paul now, keeping an eye on our traffic and roadway conditions. Paul, what's going on?
Thank you, Anthony. More now than any day. It's a wee day on the roads. We've got to all do our part here. And just like you were saying, Anthony, when there's an accident, it can really change the commute here. And if we have a lot of them like Tuesday, it can be a big headache. It doesn't have to be that way, though. Lafayette Square here, that's where we are, 44 at 55, very high up, looking at that precipitation. We're really checking lanes and roadways, 44 at 109. Out west in Eureka, seems to be moving well. Looks like 6440 is a little problematic. It's also going to have a lot of construction, as far as them working with the roadways and trying to figure out how to replace anything that might be breaking down. And then otherwise you're moving. We'll have another take of traffic coming your way soon.
Well, this morning, a little bit of snow could cause a whole lot of problems for the morning commute.
Yeah, on my drive and a few hours ago. Yours too, right? I had to really take it slow. Yeah. Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank is in our storm tracker right now with the road conditions. Gary, how's it looking?
Pretty good overall. I'm actually impressed because we worked our way from certain spots, 64, 40, and then we went to 270, across 70 by the airport, and now we're in the Metro East. Right now, I want to show you what the roads look like as we get on 64 westbound now. We're working our way back closer to areas in the Metro East here, and then across the state line, across the river here. But overall, I can tell you is, for one, the snow has stopped, but this is actually probably our snowiest spot that we've seen on the roads. You can see we're slowing down pretty actively as we get on 64 westbound here. What you'll notice is a lot of the snow that has started to be driven on, it's compact down. This is a very low moisture content snow because it's so cold. The air is a little bit drier. And so what you've noticed is this is not the slushy type of snow. This is going to be compact as it's driven over. And then as we see more of this wind blows some of the snow around from the side, that's where things are slower. This is probably the snowiest area that we've seen in the Metro East. Otherwise, the interstates are moving pretty well. Here, even as I give you a different view behind me, you can kind of see what we're dealing with. There is some light snow falling as I show you that vision of the camera, but I do want to look at the big picture here as we pull up my other weather computer back there, because this is kind of giving you an idea of some of the areas that are partially covered or fully covered. And this is some of the most recent updates from MoDOT and IDOT of some of the road conditions, and kind of a supplemental what Paul's talking about with traffic, because it's going to show you most of the areas are partially covered. They're doing a really good job of keeping things in. So that's what we're going to look at here over the next few hours. As I switch to this front camera, you can see that as we're working our way back onto 64, heading into the city here, as we approach Illinois 111, you can see as we kind of cross into the lanes, right? There are some spots where maybe there's a little snow, but overall, this is pretty impressive. I think we're going to see some spots here as we get into the Metro East a little closer that may have some snow on them. We'll keep checking as we cross some of these bridges and, of course, the river, and check back in a few minutes, guys.
All right, thank you, Gary.